I get those sometimes. From the album Call the Comet, that is... No. It's from the album Teeth. Kami gave us Soak. Brand new. Before that, Dead Tooth gave us Hell Shack. And then Polly by Nirvana. And kind of a cool thing about that song is Kurt Cobain was reading a news article about a person who got abducted, and she escaped her captor because she kind of befriended him. And, and so he started to have like a kinship, that she led him to believe that they were having, and so he untied her so that he could feed her and stuff, and then she escaped.
That's always been my plan.
Yeah, I gotta get the mic up here. Hey, we're here with Natasha and Neece, and you promised we weren't live when I was talking about all that other stuff, right?
Oh yeah, no, I just started.
You're like, no, you're just saying, what stuff?
Yeah, right. Carson.
Natasha.
It's supposed to be secret.
Natasha Neece of Livin', Lovin', Led. You're doing a newsletter now. I'm so glad because I got the news blast and I read it and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're just like, from the time I met you, it's exponential growth and you're just like charging through this. And so I'm going to let you tell people all this great news, but I'm like, what part of what impressed me is not only like some of the very interesting developments. We talked about one of them last time we talked, but not only the interesting developments that you have almost an entire year carved out already. You know what you're doing in October.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be doing a lot more. We have a skeleton of what I booked.
So you're
previously,
filling in other
but
dates.
now we're going to be filling in with some really big shows. No more local shows, and no more bars or probably no more wineries, other than what we've already got booked.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this season, this summer is our kind of our last local season.
Well, then this is especially important that you're here because you have a show coming up 1 week from tomorrow. At the Talent Club. Yeah. But also, I do want to mention that you are playing at because this is my personal curiosity, you're playing at Pear Blossom this time, right?
We are, yeah.
Yeah, because the first time that not the first time, but like when we reunited after meeting, several years ago, and you gave me, we were talking about a show that you were putting on, and I got it confused. I thought it was part of the Pear Blossom.
Yeah, no.
But this year it is.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is that during the day?
Well, we can play whenever we want. They contacted us, which was really nice. And there's only 2 bands that are playing for the whole concert series. Actually, it's the concert series, so I don't know if it's the festival.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is a Beatles tribute and us a Led Zeppelin tribute. So I thought, wow, good taste.
Yeah, very, very, very nice. Well, I'm looking forward to finding out if that's going to be... I'll just keep in touch with you. I almost sent you an email the other day with a link to a video. I kind of got like in the YouTube rabbit hole of backwards masking. You know what that is?
Oh, you mean when you can
play
make
a record
things
backwards? Yeah. And during the 80s, it was a very popular their thing where like people would come out and they would like go to religious events, or they'd have like these assemblies or seminars where they would, play you some of it backwards and talk about the satanic meaning and how dangerous this was for the youth and the kids and all this kind of stuff. And I attended one of those in the 80s. They brought them to the high school, because it was a very religious, environment. And you know what I got out of that? I got introduced to Black Sabbath.
Right. That's right. I know, you push up against something and you're just going to get more of it.
So anyway, this particular video was about the Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven. The whole thing was focused on Stairway to Heaven. The guy was playing stuff backwards. And it was a good thing he was explaining what we were supposed to hear, because I would have never heard it. But then I started thinking to myself, like, well, when I attend one of those seminars, the lyrics forward are, like if you're like concerned about paganism versus Christianity, I mean, come on. I mean, the lyrics, just plain as they are, pretty intense.
Really gorgeous and quite spiritual in a very positive way.
But I also say in a pagan way.
What do you mean by that?
Well, if there's a
Well-
bustle in your hedgerow, don't be alarmed now. It's just a spring clean for the May
Sure,
queen.
sure.
That's like about, a rite of spring, like maybe a group of people sharing,
Well,
like a-
paganism maybe has a. I think people may be ignorant around what that really means, and I can't say that I'm a expert or anything, but my understanding, and certainly the way that it's expressed in Stairway to Heaven, is just a connection with nature and ancestral
No,
community.
absolutely. Please, don't let anyone. Please, no one misunderstand me. That is the oldest religion, really.
Yeah, no wonder maybe Christianity comes up against that.
Yeah, they've been at odds for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really interesting that you bring this up because I've been in a little bit of conversation about it somewhat recently, and especially about the whole backwards thing and all that. It really seems that when there is a light that's really, really strong, like a beacon of light, that, little dark forces want to gather around it and try to bring it down. And that happens, I think, in lots of areas of our life in many different levels. And that's a perfect example, I believe, of what happened with Stairway to Heaven. It is like the words are quite guiding. The vibe is very reverent. It's an interesting song to place in a set list because it is so reverent and not of any kind of idol or anything like that, but more just of the depth and complexity and dynamic nature of our inner world.
Yeah.
Like at the end, and as we wind on down the road, our shadows taller than our soul. That could be quite introspective. Like the whole shadow work piece.
Be a
And
rock and after all. I
Yeah,
guess I had to put those words
yeah, it's like you got to hear the rest of it, right? It is a very introspective, or it thought provoking. I guess I would say very thought provoking song, but I feel that it's quite prayerful, not in a way that's at all against any kind of religion or anything like that. It seems to be a little beyond.
Well, anyway, so I was,
Woo!
So I was like,
You didn't warn me about this one, Carson.
it's fun though, right?
Well, it's
people-
important.
Yeah,
It's actually important.
Important, and we've talked about a lot of different stuff, and getting more in depth and getting people to know you a little bit better. So yeah, I was in that YouTube rabbit hole, mostly because it wasn't laugh out loud amusing, but it's like, oh my gosh.
Well, yeah.
Just everything about it was almost like a parody of a time. And I thought, oh, yeah, I won't send it. She'll find it herself. This is important. Oh, the other thing, I've been dropping your name lately. Getting kind of famous. So
Yeah, right.
Drop your name. Impress people. They can think that I'm cool because they know you.
I do the same because you're on the radio,
No, you're not.
and you are cool.
Oh, well.
You're actually a local celebrity.
Well, then it's the Mutual Admiration Society here today.
Oh, good.
Now, lay it on us. What is, if people didn't get the newsletter, there's a lot has happened
Yeah.
for Live and Love and Let.
Yeah. Yep. And it's been brewing for a little while. And it is, golly, it's pretty. It's definitely blossoming in a sort of eruptive way. I've been just actually this past week so busy. I feel like I can't keep up. Almost, I am keeping up, but it's just from first thing in the morning until last thing at night. And thank goodness for a team of people that we have now to really be assisting us with getting a strong foundation for our, taking big leaps. How do you say, we're launching? There's definitely a launch happening for us right
Specifically, you now have a national booking agent. It's always great to have an agent that has connections already instead of somebody.
Oh, yeah.
That I think we've talked about this before. Because you were doing the booking and stuff. that initial connection, like trying to find the guy or the person that that puts your name on the calendar, is sometimes the most difficult thing. But once you know them, then most of the work is done. So now you have an agent doing that. It's going to be a lot easier on your
It's been
stress level.
amazing. You nailed it.
Yeah.
I mean, my anxiety level, just like my nervous system, has calmed so much. I almost feel emotional about how thankful I am that I don't have to be researching venues outside of this area and paying people to help me research, which I did for a while. Abby Lewis at the Armory, she came in, she was like, Natasha, I really want to help you. Like, we need to get you up and out of here. And we were researching, and then like trying to reach out and all that. And then there's also this piece of me that aspect of booking where I want to keep the guys happy. I want them to be making money. I want forward movement in that way so that they can be really excited about this project. And also, I'd really like for those of them who have a day job to make enough money to where they don't have to work if they don't want to,
Well, if they're going to be on the road, it's kind of hard to hold down a job.
Yeah, we're at this balancing moment where we're stepping from one level to the other, and it is like we're sort of like, okay, like looking down, like, all right. But that's where like extreme faith and positive vibration comes in.
So we know what the booking agent is going to do for Live and Love and Lad.
And I have to say, we have other national booking agents also shopping us.
Oh, nice.
And both of the contracts that we signed are not binding, and they always want us to be with their intention is for us to grow, which is really nice.
So if they anticipate that you may grow past their services,
then they're happy to
that's a wonderful thing,
isn't it?
It's a wonderful thing. I used to book bands in the Bay Area. I had 3 of the best in the jam bands, and in the same summer, all within months, because I was doing national tours and stuff like that, so I know how hard it is to try to reach these people. But all 3 of them got signed to actual, like a prestigious, booking agencies, and I was very happy for them.
Right.
Because I didn't do it. I wasn't making money so much as like a little supplemental and stuff like that, but I was doing it more because they were my friends. I felt like I was a fan of their music.
Yeah.
So when they were able to, move on to the next level, I was very, very happy for them.
Right. Yeah, that's an important vibe.
Yeah, and then I pretty much got out of it because there was no replacing those guys.
Right. You're like, well.
I don't know if I'm going to top that again. But that's just about me. Let's talk about the management company.
Okay.
You have national management now.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What does a management company do?
Well, I'd like to be able to answer this more fully, but mostly they do a lot of promotion. They do look for shows. They also look for additional booking agents, although we would just be sending those leads to the one that we have now, because they are exclusive until we step out. And she also works a lot with contracts. Like she's very much protecting the band. So and it was really great that our booking agent, Sean McGowan, is talking with our manager, Julie Harper, and they're in communication so that when Sean gets us a booking contract, then Julie looks over it, sends it to her lawyer, makes sure everything's good. She sends the writers, our tech writers and our hospitality writers to Sean. So they're 2 different companies, but they're working in concert. Pun intended. Which felt really, really good.
Yeah. That sounds like all the stuff I would not want to do.
I haven't been wanting to do it.
Contracts and all
Oh
that,
yeah. I mean, the Google, all this and that we've had to show statistics and endless folders of, you wouldn't hardly believe it. Yeah.
Is there a plan to have a tour manager like more of a personal, like goes to the shows with you and
Yep.
takes care
We have Shane Thornton,
Uh-huh.
who is
Oh,
super,
that's right.
super
Right, we
special.
talked about that last time. Does Shane have a cricket bat?
A cricket bat.
Yeah, like the British game cricket.
Yeah.
I don't know what they call it. Is it a bat? Cricket?
I
paddle or a bat?
have no idea. I'll have to ask him why.
Oh, Peter Green was the
Okay, yeah.
He had a Peter Green, a very big man, tour manager, personal manager for Led
Yeah.
Zeppelin, had a reputation of being quite the enforcer.
Right. Well, we also will have security.
Nice.
So Shane won't be doing that. Yeah, Shane's been helping with a lot of social networking, and we opened up a Reverb Nation site, and on and on and on and on. Lots of these Google things and technical stuff, and he's helping with sound. Now we have 2 sound men now, one for front of house and one for side stage for the monitors, and that's really exciting.
So much in such a short amount of time. All right, what time is it? What else is on your mind? Like, what isn't, right?
I mean, gratitude. Well, let me shout out the guys' names.
Yeah, please.
So our other sound, so Shane, as I already said, Randy Bollet is still with us. He's been with us from the beginning. He's doing the sound and lights. And our stage show is going to be really developing. We're definitely moving toward a higher production stage show with stagescaping and projection. We have a gentleman who used to do the liquid projections at the Fillmore East for 20 years. He's really itching to work with us. He won't be at our talent show at the Talent Club April 2nd because that's a little bit too small, but we have our first theater show actually in Corvallis May 14th. So that will be our very next show after the Talent Club.
Awesome.
So yeah, our stage show is really growing. Also that whole thematic archetypal thing I'm really, really excited about. So yeah, Randy Bollet, Mike Pugh has been with us for, gosh, I think next month will be 2 years. And he does bass. He also got an acoustic bass, a beautiful acoustic bass that we're going to be using for...
Not a stand-up, though, but just like a...
Yeah, I don't really understand the difference, but yeah, it's not a stand-up, but it's an acoustic for our little acoustic part of our set.
Yeah, I've seen people playing before. I don't know. I mean, sound-wise, there's probably a little bit of difference, but...
Yeah, I'll be figuring that out. It's
Yeah.
really pretty.
Yeah.
It definitely, gives the look. And he's doing more and more keyboards. We're going to be branching out into more kind of psychedelic, like In the Light, and some of the more funky stuff like Trampled Underfoot. And Bobby Massano, our guitarist. He, as I said in our last interview, is a Blues Hall of Fame guitarist. So this is really quite cool that he is totally focused on working with us. He's really, really excited about taking us as far as it can go.
I like the approach that he was, or the way he was explaining the approach that Live and Love and Let Us taking, and you explained it as well, but not so much like a covered band, like you insisted like a tribute band. Yeah. And there's going to be a lot of, especially with Bobby coming in, I anticipate, I don't know, like more individual, like Live and Love and Led style.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're really passionate about a very, I want to say, seductive balance of playing the songs note for note in all the original keys, but also expanding on the leads for sure. Bobby will be doing the arrangements, doing lots of segues, getting very creative with that kind of thing, and a lot of lives. We're starting to listen to a lot of the bootlegs and the famous live shows that Zeppelin did, and doing some of the songs more in the live version, and even expanding on that. So yeah, that's really exciting to have the balance of what people have heard, so many times, but also the song's a little bit different than they've heard.
I will never forget the time. It's a silly, trivial thing, but you know how like when you pull into your destination and that whatever you're listening to on the radio or it's like the song ends just as you stop your car to get out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had one of those with Dazed and Confused off of their 1972. I think it was In the West. I think was the name of the album.
Wow.
And so Dazed and Confused started right when I started my car in Medford, and I got to the radio station that used to be on Hersey, and ended right when so like the entire trip from Medford to Ashland was like Dazed and Confused, and then it just ended like
you're like I have arrived. You're right.
Like it's specifically like boom right there.
I was reading, and I want to get to our drummer too, but I was reading an article that was my favorite Zap article I've ever read, and I need to memorize the name of this author. But he was saying that part of what was so intriguing for young men, especially back in the day when Zeppelin was happening, is that they were able to create a sound that was so heavy that it sounded dangerous. And it was like these young men were attracted to the danger, but they were safe. They were at a concert, they were in their bedrooms, but they could kind of go
it's akin
there.
to a little bit of adrenaline.
Yeah. And Dazed and
Amps you
Confused
up.
is a perfect example of that. It's just it's just crazy. But yeah, Kevin Stacy. I gotta say, so excited about Kevin Stacy. We've been looking for our drummer the whole time for 2.5 years, and to find Kevin has just been a godsend. I mean, really every single aspect of what's happening with our band right now is answered prayer, and just tons of manifestation work and vibrational work, and however you want to say it. But I am easily brought to tears with gratitude around the team that come up around us. The band members themselves also, we're all like really like nice, sensitive people, which is really cool,
That will make it a lot easier when you're traveling together.
Yeah.
I'm assuming in a van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kevin, man, and he's also our artist, our poster artist. So for all the shows, he's making these incredible pieces of art, which is just icing on the cake.
It's great to have a poster artist in the band.
I know.
Built in.
Yeah.
All right, so the show that is coming up next for Livin' Lovin' Lead is at the Talent Club. That's in Talent, Oregon, in case you don't know. Great name, though. There's some talent at the Talent Club tonight.
Yeah. Which is a hopping little place. I mean, big bands go through there.
Yeah. I mean, well, it would make sense because Ashland is just like kind of right between San Francisco and Portland, and there's not many places to play here. So I'm glad that they're bringing them in. So the Livin' Lovin' Lead concert at the Talent Club is Saturday, April 2nd. You can get your tickets at the door or online at talentclublive.
Want my reading glasses?
Yeah, I think so. Ticketleap.com. I got it. Ticketleap.com. It's kind of funny because sometimes it's like it has to be closer, sometimes it has to be farther.
Oh, good Lord, help us.
The Talent Club, by the way, is at 114 Talent Avenue in Talent, Oregon. Just, if you're coming from Ashland, just turn left. You'll find the Talent Club on 99. If you're coming from Medford, just turn right. You're going to find it.
It's right there.
Oh, well, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, as usual.
I'm happy for you going on the road, and I'm going to request that we have at least one more visit here at Latitude 42 before you guys take off on some serious road trips.
Honey, I live here.
Good.
I'm happy to come and visit you anytime.
You're just making me nervous.
Oh, child, please.
All right, here's what I'll play this for you because I don't know that you've heard this. The song is Living, Loving, Made. It is done by a band called Dread Zeppelin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Uh-huh.
All right, this will be fun. And if you're not familiar with Dread Zeppelin, it's Led Zeppelin songs done in kind of a reggae style with an Elvis impersonator as a lead vocalist.
And I thought we were creative. We are creative.
You guys are great. All right. Thanks, Natasha.
Thank you, honey.